Okay, so since my kids are all on their Zoom stuff doing what they need to do, I figured I'd come on here and do my own and whatnot. I know I don't match. I don't really care. It's cold out here, so. But this is the only quiet place, so I get stuck in the cold dungeon. Anyways, so some of you have been asking why I decided to stop speaking with my mother. And so this may be harsh, and a lot of you may be like, oh, well, that's your mom, so you should help her. But it's hard to help someone who can't help themselves anymore, I guess, if that's what you can say. And plus, with all the issues and the backlash that I've had with her, this isn't the first run-in I've had with her. And this isn't the first issue that I've had with her. And instead of them treating me like an actual daughter, I was more of a bank account for them. And that is what pisses me off. Now, granted, there have been a lot of times where my mom has helped me out. She has babysat my kids and stuff when I really needed her to. But outside of that, it got to the point where we were paying some of their bills. And we were taking the money out of our own savings account, and it was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I get that life happens and some things happen, but every time it came back for them to like pay us, it was always in very, very small increments. And then there was always an excuse attached to it. Like, my mom doesn't want to believe this, and my mom doesn't want to believe that she is true, but she is a hypochondriac through and through. Like, yes, she does have some health problems, and yes, it does cause issues, but like, when something starts going wrong, instantly she starts thinking that she's gonna die, or she has issues, whereas, you know, like, she has diabetes, she has heart problems, she's got, you know, thyroid problems. So anytime something very small goes wrong, she instantly just thinks the worst and goes into, oh, like, you know, oh, it's cancer, or, oh, it's MS, or, oh, it's this. And it's like, she has a lot of unresolved mental health issues that she chooses not to get checked on, which really upsets me, because at this point in time, like, I went and got mine all situated, and I was told, and you can do your own research, bipolar disorder is hereditary through the mother's side. And when we've talked about this, she says she thinks she has it too, and she knows for a fact that her biological mother had it as well. Okay, well, there's the clue number one with all that stuff. Like, if you know that I have it, and you know that it's hereditary and your mother had it, then you know for a fact that you probably have it. Instead of going and getting it checked on, she lives in the sense of like self-pity and wants everybody to feel bad for her. But at the same time, like, she's only 50, and it's frustrating for me because I can't go to my mom like normal daughters can go to their mothers. Whenever I seem to have an issue and I want to talk about it, I'll call her, and it went literally not even 5 minutes straight into what was wrong with her. And that gets exhausting after a while, especially when you have to parent your parent. Like, the last straw for me was back in January. My mom's been wanting an iPhone for a very, very, very long time, which is fine. Like, everybody wants what they want, but like, her phone was fine. Nothing was wrong with it. Well, she ended up going and getting a new phone while she still owed me money. Didn't tell me about it, didn't say anything to me, ended up adding me on Snapchat, I think it was. And then as soon as I accepted it, she sent me a text message, and she was like, oh, well, the only reason why I got a new Snapchat is because it logged me out of my old one and I couldn't remember the password. Okay, didn't think anything of it until like a couple weeks later. My grandfather had gone into the hospital because he fell and he split his head open. And a cousin of mine went to the hospital at the same time, and my mom was bragging about how she just got a new iPhone. And that's what set me off. It's like, one, why the fuck do you have to lie about it? Two, you could have just straight up said something. What, you're mad because I would have called you out on your bullshit? Because I would have. I would have straight up been like, oh, okay, well, you have money to buy a new iPhone, but you don't have money to pay me back the $500 that you owe me for me paying your rent. Especially when the fact of is that you didn't need a new phone right then and there. You could have waited a couple more months. It's the point being that I took that money out of mine and my husband's savings account. So at that point in time, you're taking from your grandchildren. That's what gets me. The money that we have in our savings account is literally savings for a reason. She's lucky that my husband is smart and plans for all extra, like, what ifs in this world, and we didn't need that money for our kids. But here we are almost 10 months later, and our bank account is still suffering. Not a lot, but enough to where we're trying to get all our stuff together. I was 20 years old paying for my mom's diabetes strips, all her, stuff that she needed when she didn't have the money, and she can't work like she used to. So it's like, there's just every excuse in the freaking book with her. And I can't feel sorry for her anymore, because despite my physical ailments, I always go to work. It doesn't matter if I'm crying, if I'm upset, if I'm tired, or what. I still get my butt up and I still go work my shifts to make money, because I know I have kids to depend on. Well, that depend on me. So I can't keep feeling sorry for her. And she needs to understand that in order to have a relationship with me, she needs to work on herself, and she needs to own up to the things that she did and that she keeps doing, and she needs to stop making excuses for herself, because it's not fair. It really isn't. Like, the amount of times that I needed a mother, like, I've had to go to my mother-in-law, or sometimes I don't even do that. I just suck it up and just like let it build, because I know people are sick and tired of hearing me bitch about the same thing. I know that it's hard for people to like wrap their head around.
Do you have any white crayons?
White crayons? Red? Go find my thing. Sorry. Go ahead. He's on Zoom, so don't mind him. I can't, like, I need you to be a mother. I don't want a best friend. I already have one of those. I don't need you to be a loved one or a significant other, because I already have one of those.